Hey guys, Jogo here with Jogo Motorcycle Adventures, and in this video I'm going to show you 3 beginner motorcycle drills that you can practice at home to make you a better rider. Stay tuned. This first drill is called the Trust and Believe. Basically, this exercise is going to help you with the other 2 exercises that I'm about to show you. So for this exercise, you're going to pull up to a line, you're going to have 2 cones, you're going to pull up right in between it. First, you're going to check to make sure you're in first gear. Then you're going to go ahead and cover the rear brake with your right foot. From there, you're going to increase your throttle and keep it steady, somewhere around 2200 RPMs. After that, you're going to slowly enter the friction zone until you feel the bike wanting to move. So once you figure out where your friction zone is, you're going to lift up your left foot and you're not going to move. As soon as you pick up your left foot, you're not going to release that clutch until you feel like you're getting ready to fall. Once you feel like you're getting ready to fall, then you'll release your clutch to catch you. Because as long as you got power going to that rear wheel, which releasing the clutch gives you the power to the rear wheel, that bike is not going to fall. This is going to help you from not putting your foot down when you're in parking lots and whatnot. You're always going to have that feeling that you're going to fall. But once you get that feeling, you want your head to automatically release that clutch a little bit and it'll catch your fall. Second exercise is called the slow ride. This exercise is very useful in a traffic jam, while you're in a parking lot, anywhere you have to go slow. This makes it so you don't have to put your feet down every time you feel like you're going to fall over. So basically for this exercise, it's going to play into the very first exercise, the Trust and Believe. You're going to come up to the cone, you're going to make sure you're in first gear, then you're going to cover the rear brake, and then you're going to get your RPMs up to about 2200 RPMs, doesn't have to be exact, and keep it steady. Then you're going to find the friction zone. Once you get into the friction zone, you're going to slowly release that clutch a little bit, not all the way, staying in the friction zone. And then as soon as the bike starts moving, you're going to pick up your left foot. From here, you're going to keep everything the same. You're going to keep a steady throttle, stay in the friction zone, but you just want to go as slow as you can. This is going to help you out immensely. You might have even seen it at your local bike night or something like that. They do a competition basically to see who can cross the finish line last. And while you're doing this, you want to make sure you're looking straight ahead, head and eyes up. You don't want to look down, because once you start looking down, where do you think your bike's going to go? It's going to go where you're looking, and you're either going to fall, lose your concentration, something like that. Just want to go nice and easy, nice and smooth. You want to keep it slow. You want to keep it somewhere between 2 to 3 miles per hour. If at one point you feel like you're going to fall over, all you got to do is release that clutch a little bit. That plays into the Trust and Believe. As soon as you start feeling like you're getting ready to fall over, boom, just release that clutch a little bit and the bike will stand right back up. Also, while you're doing this, it helps if you use the rear brake to control your speed. That way, if you start going a little too fast, you just hit it and it'll actually kind of straighten up the bike a little bit. You don't want to mash on it. Nice, smooth, fluent movements. Alright, the third and final exercise I'm going to show you guys is the cone weave. I know you have to do this exercise in order to get your motorcycle license, so I know this will help you guys out. Basically, the first 2 exercises are going to feed right into this exercise. Cones are going to be about 15 feet apart. You can make them wider, you can make them narrower, it doesn't matter, whatever you're comfortable with, but I suggest starting off with 15 feet apart. Basically, you're going to start with the fundamentals, right? You're going to come up to the line, you're going to check that you're in first gear. Always check that you're in first gear. You're going to cover the rear brake. and then you're going to bring your RPMs up to about 21, 22 RPMs, and you're going to keep it steady. From there, you're going to enter the friction zone, find that sweet spot, stay in that friction zone. Once you feel the bike starting to move forward a little bit, you're going to pick up your left foot, and then you're going to enter into the cones, and you want to hit it right in the center of the two cones. You don't want to come in too close to that first cone, because it's just going to make it harder for you to make that next turn. The tighter you make it, the tighter it's going to be to finish out the weave. So basically, while you're doing this weave, you want to swing out about 4 feet, which is about a half a parking space, because a parking space is 9 feet. While you're doing this, you want to keep your eyes and chin straight forward. You want to be looking forward. You don't want to be looking down at the cones, because if you start looking down at the cones, you're going to end up hitting the cones. And we don't want that. During your transitions, you're swinging in left. You can pull in the clutch just a little bit, and that's going to allow you to turn your wheel a lot easier. But as soon as you get done with that transition, so I'm going in for the transition, pull in a little bit, I turn, and then I let the clutch back out. And you just do that steadily. Also, while you're doing this exercise, you want to control your speed with the rear brake. So this isn't a race. You don't want to be going through this 15, 20 miles an hour. So while you're going through this, if you feel like you're starting to go a little too fast, just hit that rear brake a little bit. It'll slow you down. No harm, no foul. But you can keep your throttle at that steady state, and it doesn't matter. You could have the throttle all the way up to 4,000 RPMs. Just a matter of you're in the friction zone and you're using that rear brake to control your speed. Lastly, you want to keep your body perpendicular with the bike. When you're doing this, you can lean the bike. At 15 feet, you don't even have to lean the bike, but it's possible to do it with just turning the handlebars. But you want to get that lean. You want to start getting comfortable leaning the bike over. Keep your body perpendicular with the bike and let the bike move underneath you. Make the bike do the work. You don't have to do the work. If you start leaning with the bike, your body's going to start getting tired, and you don't have to do it. Alright guys, this is going to wrap it up, but I got a pro tip for you. While you're doing all this clutch work, staying in the friction zone and whatnot, do yourself a favor and keep your ring finger and your pinky finger on the handlebars and only use your 2 fingers on the clutch. So you can only pull it in so far, and that makes it so you don't have to release it as much to boom, get in the friction zone. You're right there. So hopefully that tip helps. If you like this video, give me a like, subscribe. I'm going to be doing a few more videos here. I do rides, poker runs, about to take a trip out here to Tennessee, and then going to stop in Georgia to see Robert Simmons. If you haven't heard of him, look him up. Great guy. Going to do a practice session out there in Pooler, Georgia, and we'll see you next time.